Another female hero standing up for women's sports. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com, TatumStore.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we already talked about the Talladega sponsorship. If you want to be involved, it's very simple. $50, you'll get a t-shirt. $200, you get the name on the card, you get a t-shirt, and you'll get a signed autographed photo from me and Caleb. $5,000, you'll have the whole experience. The entire weekend will be with your boy B. Tatum. We're going to go to dinner at the steakhouse, all expenses paid and drinks covered. And we'll be in the pit for the race, and we'll watch the cup race the very next day, literally the whole weekend. All right, I want to show y'all this shirt that I'm wearing. People are like, B. Tatum, where is this shirt available? Yes, it's available right here. Build the wall. It is the Trump Craft shirt. Get you one today. A discount code will pop up somewhere at the top. I think we're still doing March Madness with 80% off of our sales selection. But however, if you want this shirt, it's not in the sales selection. If you want the sales selection is there. If you want to contribute to the Talladega experience and be a sponsor, here is the guidelines right here. Go to TatumStore.com, TatumStore.com right now. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. We need you to hit the like button and share so we can get some momentum going on these videos. Let's get into this. I don't know if y'all know this sport. Maybe if you white, you know this sport. Black people have never heard of this sport, just so you know. I asked my wife, what is this called? I called it knifing. I said stabbing. I said knights. I thought they was knights or something. She said it's called fencing. Now, what does a fence have to do with this? I guess they got a fence on their face when they stab each other in the head. I don't know. I got to look it up. There's a reason why they call it fencing. But you ain't never in your life seen a black person do fencing. Maybe one, because he was raised in a white family. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, I'm just telling jokes. Okay, can I joke a little bit? Y'all get y'all feelings hurt? All right, that's what I thought. So anyway, I want to play the clip real quick so you can see this, and then we'll talk about it. But just a preface that I believe every female to protest against males in female sports is for you to protest exactly. Take a knee, bow out, don't start the race, let them race by themselves. Because if they are not going to listen to what women want in their own sport, then women need to take responsibility themselves to be activated to not participate. And if enough women don't participate, they can't have these clowns in their sport. And the only reason I say clowns, because it's not about being transgender. You can be transgender all you want. That's on you, boo. I don't have a problem with it. Do what if it makes you happy, you do what makes you happy. I don't think God is pleased with it, but hey, you may not even believe in God. So do what you do. But when you start hurting other people by the decisions that you're making, and you know you better than these women, you know you're stronger than these women, you know that when you were a boy, what your numbers were compared to the women, and you did it anyway. That's what I think I don't like. Roll the clip. Pause it. That ringing noise is killing me. But look at how much bigger this person is than the girl. It's just that this stuff is they tripping. That person is bigger, way bigger than all the girls. Shouldn't that tell you something? I was at the event yesterday. Pull up the Fox News clip. I was at the event yesterday arguing with people on campus. And I did this. I said, it was a couple things that make this very clear to me. One was, I said, there's a very big biological difference between a male and a female. Do y'all agree? And many of them are, no, and that ain't what we talking about. I said, well, why do we have male and female sports right now? Because there's a difference. I said, I'll pay $1,000 to any woman that will challenge me in a push-up contest right now. Of course, nobody did it. Why is that? Because women know for a fact they can not one. For a woman to be stronger than me, she got to be one of the strongest women in the world. She can do more push-ups than me. She's one of the most fit women to ever live. And it's not because I'm so fit. It's because for a woman to be that fit, you're on a different playing field. And I also made mention that knowing that men are stronger, knowing that men have bigger lung capacity and muscle density and bone density and all this other stuff that men have that women don't have, knowing that, why do we think it's fair? Because when you transition, you don't lose all your strength. You may reduce in strength, but you don't lose everything. Why do you think it's fair? Nobody could give me a clear answer. Because it's not fair. Why do we lie? If I transition today, I'd be one of the strongest women in the world. Right now, I'm nowhere near the strongest man in the world. Not even top 500. Roll the clip.
Be interested in a female fencer stands up for fairness in women's sports. She did it by taking a knee and refusing to compete against a biological male at a tournament over the weekend. The referee's response, a black card, the sport's most severe penalty, which means expulsion from the tournament. Let's bring in the athlete at the center of it all, Stephanie Turner. And Stephanie, thanks so much for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So this was an Olympic qualifying event. My understanding of it is. This was something that you had prepared all your life for. It wasn't an Olympic qualifying event? I'm sorry. I had heard that this morning.
No, it wasn't.
It was an important event, though. And this is something that you've been preparing for an awfully long time. You decided that you were going to take yourself out of the tournament. What was the thinking in leading up to the decision where you took a knee?
Right. So this was actually a regional tournament held by the USFA at the University of Maryland. So part of my pre-competition ritual is to check the online registration to see who is going to be there and just double check my check-in times. And on the registration list, I saw Redmond Sullivan's name listed there. And I recognized this individual from a previous Redux article that had been written stating that this person was a man who had previously competed on the men's team at Wagner and was now competing as a woman within the USFA. So from that point, I just got really disappointed with the USFA and with this tournament, and I just felt like at a loss. I'd already committed so much money to it and training hours, and I was literally looking forward to this. I do this tournament every year. Yeah. I think this may be like my 10th year in a row doing this tournament. And I just got really sad and I started crying because this was like the last thing I wanted to deal with in my competition.
So at one point in the video,
So I want y'all to hear this clearly. This person played for a men's team first. This is why I hope these people burn in hell who are hurting other people like this. It's a difference between you really feeling like you're a girl and you want to be fair and you think it's fair, whatever. But these people like Leah Thomas and others who compete as men, they compete as men first. They already know what their numbers are. They already know what their abilities are against women. They already know how fast they swim. They already know how they run on the track. They already know how well they fence. They already know the difference in dynamics between male and female in their own sport. They know that. They knowingly and intentionally transition to compete against women, knowing that they're going to win, knowing that their times are better, knowing that they haven't been taking hormones enough to lose everything you built for 25 years. And then they go out and do this to people and they make them feel bad. They make them feel shame. They put them in these weird spots where then they got to be activists or they got to show up for themselves because the administrators are wussies with a P. It just bothers me. Just be a reasonable person and nobody will be messing with you. But when you compete as a man, then you turn around and compete as a woman, you wrong. You wrong and you dirty. Roll the clip.
We see you take a knee, and then the official comes over. What did you say to the official at that point?
So the official came over to me and asked if I was still refusing to fence, and I said yes. Oh, and you're talking about initially?
Yes.
Or when I got the black card?
No, initially.
Initially, I told them that I was refusing to fence because this person is a man and I am a woman and this is a women's tournament and I refuse to fence on principle.
And then later, right after this, we see your opponent comes over. What did you say to your opponent at that point?
My opponent was a little bit confused, thinking that I was maybe hurt. And I said, no, I am refusing to fence you because I'm a woman and you are a man. I have much love and respect for you, but I will not compete against you.
Wow.
And he responded, okay, well, there's a, yes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm sorry, what was his response?
His response was, okay, but there's a member of the board of directors here, and he supports me, and there's a policy that says that I'm a woman and I'm allowed to compete in the women's tournament, and if you do this, you're going to get black carded. And I said, I know.
So here's what USA Fencing said in a statement to Fox News Digital. USA Fencing enacted our current transgender and non-binary athlete policy in 2023. The policy was designed to expand access to the sport of fencing and create inclusive, safe spaces. It goes on to talk more. But this idea about inclusive, safe spaces, what about inclusive, safe spaces for female athletes?
Right. There's nothing for me and there's everything for him. Because I have no choice as a woman, as a female, in where I compete. I am a woman and I have an athletic disadvantage to men, so I compete in the women's division, which is where I rightfully am. But he has been given this opportunity to fence in the women's division, and he can compete. He can easily compete in the men's division. He can also compete at mixed events in local tournaments if he wants. There is a place for him. So the idea that they're creating they're expanding the women's is just essentially making it an open tournament that can include men, and it ends up hurting me and other girls.
So you've got the support of Riley Gaines, who was on our network earlier today, and former tennis star Martina Navratilova, who put this out on X. She said, this is what happens when female athletes protest. Anyone here still think this is fair? I am fuming, and shame on USA Fencing. Shame on you for doing this. How dare you throw women under the gender BS bus? I mean, this doesn't come at the expense of male athletes. We don't see this on the flip side of the coin. This all comes at the expense of female athletes like yourself, like Riley Gaines, like the girls who lost that race by 7 seconds in Oregon, like the girls who lost the pole vault event in Maine. I mean, this is happening across the country.
Hold on. The one who lost the long jump by 8 feet. 8 feet. You beat somebody by 8 feet in the long jump? That's insane.
To a large degree, women support this.
Right. It's happening in every sport and at every level. And there's really no option to go around this when there are extremists who take up positions within the authoritative body of the USFA. So I have very little option other than being forced to fence. And I have gone down other pathways, like back in 2023 Summer Nationals. I just didn't sign up to fence in the Div 1A women's foil because there was another transgender person that I'd recognized in that tournament. So, I mean, I've avoided it as much as I can, but at what point do I have to just avoid all tournaments altogether because there's going to be somebody who's trans there?
It's a tough choice. As you point out, your opponent had two choices, could compete as a biological male or could compete in the women's. You have the choice of competing in the women's. So, Stephanie, thank you for telling your story. We really appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
All right. I hope she have a social media. I want to go follow her. She's another icon to me in women's sports because it is absolutely asinine. And we got to stop being wussies. And being we got inclusive. Nah, man, we need to protect women. Look, bruh, you want to go compete? Use your other avenues. You can't compete against women. You got a wing. You were born a man. Like, this is the thing that bothers me about these trans people, and this is why they get treated bad. The ones who are ignorant is that you believe that you can transition. That is not a true statement biologically or amongst the beliefs of most people. So if you are a reasonable trans person, you should be able to sit back and say, you know what? I feel like I'm a woman. Some people don't feel like I'm a woman. Why? Why would some people not think you're a woman? Well, let's start with biology. Let's start with the fact that you got a wing. Maybe that's a good start. Be a reasonable, fair person and say, I could see why people may not view me as a woman. So let me be in spaces where people agree with me and let me avoid the places where people don't agree with me. And this is my ideology. I don't want to push it on others. And this is their ideology. I don't want them to push it on me. So how about we agree to disagree? And if I'm in female sports and women are saying it's not fair, then I can't compete. How about I believe our women? I was talking about this at the thing. I said, what about women's rights? They don't know what. I said the man pulled his wang out in the locker room with Leah Thomas pulled his wang out in the locker room with Riley Gaines and them. They were all uncomfortable. If they all say they're uncomfortable, can we believe them? No, they were just making an excuse. They just were being mean. Everybody just being mean. How can't the one person be a problem? I mean, the asinine theology that everybody's wrong, but less than 1% of the population is insanity to me. Everybody else is wrong. Everybody else needs to catch up to one person. And then they have the same argument that this is not even that prevalent. They don't take medals from people. What? We just see one right here. Where you think that person's going to finish in the tournament? Listen, if it wasn't an issue, nobody would be talking about trans people in sports because they wouldn't be winning. They'll be right in the middle of the pack. No, it's because they are number one. When they come over there, they number one. Beat them in the long jump by 8 feet. Won the Washington State 400-meter dash. Oregon State championship. I mean, you go down the list, bruh. They're breaking records. Women's powerlifting record. I mean, they go. I swear, God is my witness, and I wish that people would agree that you deserve to go to hell if you deserve to go to hell if I'm right. And 20 years from now, 30 years from now, every single female record would be held by a transgender man or woman, whatever you call them. I put my life on it that if we don't stop this, every single female record that's able to be broken in the next 20 to 30 years are going to be by a biological man identifying as a woman. I put my life on it. It only take one dude that runs track, that runs a 10-3, and he decides to convert and run a 10-3 as a woman, and he's going to have the world record. It only take one person to turn into Joanna Man, and it'd be a 6'6" dude that transition and play in the WNBA that can dunk, because he can windmill dunk as a man. One, he's going to score 80 points a game. He's going to dunk from the free throw line with a wig on. One person. Now, every WNBA scoring record is going to be that person's. It only take one. We're like one generation away from women losing everything. The only reason they hadn't done it now is because it's shunned. Tell me I'm lying. All right. If I'm lying, then they crying, man.